Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the University of Washington's annual Freshman Convocation. The convocation will begin with the procession of the faculty, deans, president, regents, administrative leadership, and honored guests.
The 2015 University of Washington Freshman Convocation will be opened with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner by Abigail Hendricks. The audience will please rise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
Please be seated. I'm Sharon Agreda Sutton, the University Marshal and a professor of architecture. As University Marshal, I have the distinct honor of officially welcoming you to the University of Washington. 4 years from now, another University Marshal will have the equally distinct honor of officially bidding you farewell by saying, the 144th commencement exercises of the University of Washington are now closed. The symmetry of this hail and farewell is not accidental, but rather is essential to making you part of our most treasured traditions. The 4 elegant Ionic columns you see before you symbolize this symmetry. They are replicas of the original columns of the university's first building. It was constructed on a gift of public land in 1861, 154 years ago, in downtown Seattle, when the city had just 200 residents. These same columns will be displayed on the commencement stage in Husky Stadium at your graduation. If you look up at the mezzanine, you will see another symbol of symmetry, the banners identifying each of the university's schools and colleges, arranged in historical order, beginning with the College of Arts and Sciences and ending with the School of Public Health. At graduation, some of you will be carrying these banners, while the rest of you parade behind them, according to your school or college. These columns and banners are treasured parts of our university traditions. As you join our university traditions, you should remember that you are also entering into the ancient traditions of learning that connect us to the earliest universities in Europe. This connection is symbolized in the caps and gowns we wear on these occasions and by the special ritual object the University Marshal carries in our ceremonies, the mace. The mace is an ancient symbol of authority, which reminds us that universities are custodians of the enduring traditions of learning and the power they bestow upon those who come to learn. Our mace is embellished with metal sculptures of the University Sill and Denny Hall, and topped by a graceful rendition of Drumheller Fountain. The mace and these other rituals are symbolic reminders of our traditions, but you will inhabit our most powerful symbol of all, and that is the campus itself. Our campus was built on a second, very large gift of public land. It is a work of art, featuring grand open spaces, dramatic vistas, delightful landscapes, and architecturally significant buildings that together create a stage for academic life. Like any great work of art, the campus will give meaning to your daily routines. When you enter Red Square, you will see the soaring stained glass windows of Suzzallo Library and know that you are in our university's intellectual center, a center that links upstage to the liberal arts and downstage to the sciences, a center that opens our great public university out to the community, connecting west to the Olympics and south to Rainier Vista. This remarkable ordering of academic life did not happen accidentally, but rather required many iterations until a setting was in place that could embrace many different scenes and dramas. World wars, earthquakes, expansions, changes in architectural styles, not even student protest have altered this fundamental ordering. Rather, each drama added a layer that enriched our campus's underlying symbolic form. You are another layer in this work of art. The campus is not static, but rather it beckons you through many iterations to reenact the drama of academic life. As you become part of our traditions, take a lesson from the university's founders who perfected their art through trial and error. The campus invites your active learning by trial and error. It invites you to look around at the legacy you have inherited, to observe the many historic and contemporary buildings, the sculptures, both old and new, the forest growth and seasonal plantings. It invites you to experience its Northwest informality, its large windows, irregular skylines, rich colors of brown, blue, green, and rose. Most of all, the campus of this great public university invites you to add your own narrative, to use the space that lies within the university and that also reaches out into the larger community. A convocation is a calling together. Today, we call you together as incoming students to celebrate your entrance onto the stage where you will learn and practice the roles of higher education. The drama you are joining has been in progress for centuries. Its plot is open so you can create your own story, forge your own links between the exceptional and the ordinary, decide when to focus your actions inward or outward. Be assured that you are not alone. Others around you already have a sense of what the production is about and can assist you in making creative choices. For you now have a leading role in this university of 1,000 years. As you take your places, you will share our concerns, our hopes, our dreams, and our obligation to forge the continuing drama of a great public university. We know that your new roles will lead to lifelong bonds of friendship and allegiance, and we hope that you will always feel as proud of us as we already feel of you as actors in this extraordinary incoming class. It is now my great pleasure to introduce to you the interim president of the University of Washington, Anna Marie Kause.
Thank you, Professor Sutton. What an honor to welcome the newest members of the University of Washington family. Before I continue, I want you to know that the splendid music you've been listening to this morning is being provided to us by students from the School of Music's Wind Ensemble under the direction of Professor Timothy Salzman. As you can tell, they're gifted musicians, and we greatly appreciate their participation here today. Let's give them a I'd also like to introduce our stage party today, beginning with our regents. The university's Board of Regents consists of 10 citizens of the state who are appointed by the governor and confirmed by the state senate. These dedicated men and women devote many hours each year to the welfare of the university, including getting up bright and early today. 5 of our regents are with us here this morning, and I'd like to introduce them at this time, but please hold your applause until they're all introduced. Regent Christiane Blake, Regent Joanne Harrell, Regent Vanessa Kritzer, our student regent, Regent Rogelio Riojas, and Regent Patrick Shanahan. Ladies and gentlemen, the regents of the University of Washington. Also seated on the platform are the deans of the university's 16 schools and colleges, the senior administrative leadership of the university, faculty members, and representatives from the student body, the faculty senate, and the Alumni Association. Would all of you please stand and allow us to thank you for being here? And thank you, students and parents, families and friends, for being with us here as well. It's truly an honor to welcome you this morning as we take this moment to acknowledge this very important milestone in your lives. Each of you brings a unique perspective to our great university. You're from different places, from different cultures and backgrounds, and you have different interests. We welcome, we embrace those differences. They add to the richness of the experiences that you'll have both inside and outside the classroom. They make us stronger, more innovative, and better able to respond to the world's greatest challenges. Welcome and thank you as we begin, as we promise that you will begin a transformative experience. We're excited that you're here, and I know that you're excited too. And I also know, whether you admit it or not, you're probably just a little scared, maybe a little anxious. I assure you that you're in good company, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Your parents are probably more scared. They've supported you, they've believed in you, and they've encouraged you to pursue your dreams. And now, as you're taking the next step forward, they will be taking a step back to do all those things they did before at a little bit more of a distance or virtually, while you find your own way. Many of these people are here today, and so please, parents, family members, and friends, you've done an exceptional job. Thank you. Students, stand up and join me in applauding and thanking your parents and all the other important people here today. We look forward to seeing all of you at our first Parents' Weekend next April, so come on back. Now, class of 2019, your generation has been called the selfie generation. But here at the University of Washington, that's not what we're about. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to ban selfies. Talk about the impossible. I don't have those kind of powers. But I do want you to think about the fact that you're part of a community now. You're Huskies. And Huskies believe that we is greater than me, that we're better when we work together. So rather than taking a selfie to remember this moment, I want you to turn to the person next to you right now and do two things. I know that probably all of you have something like this in your pockets. So first, ask if you can take a photo of them, and ask them why they became a Husky. And second, with their consent, share the picture and why they became a Husky using the hashtag #NewHuskies2015. I'll give you a minute to do that. And meanwhile, oh God, this is a good one. I'm going to retweet this one. Yeah, that was a good one. All right, hey, I'm retweeting. reading. It'll come up sometime. Okay. Now continue to do that throughout the day. Wherever you're sitting, at the picnic, turn to the person next to you and start up a conversation. That's the way that you'll make friendships that'll last throughout your life. Okay. You don't have to tell them the entire story of your life. You know, we'll get to that after. Yeah, I should know better. Once you start things, you never know where they're going to go with this crowd. As new Huskies, you and your classmates are already raising the bar. This year's freshman class is the largest in the university's history. But you're also, let's not tell the seniors out here, you're also one of the best classes ever. And I'm not just talking about test scores and grades, but also, and you know that we do holistic admissions, we read your whole application. You're also just terrific in terms of the work and life experiences, the creativity, the preparation, and the talents that you bring to us and that will help you to continue your academic success. And even if you're feeling stressed once in a while, you might make a mistake. At some point, you might need extra help. All of us do. This new Husky community that you're joining is there to help and support you. Remember, it is not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's a sign of strength. You see, though most people go to college in order to build a career, and if that's not important to you, I bet you it's important to your parents. And that's something that we want to make sure that you have all those skills. There's something that you should strive for with equal vigor, and that's a life worth living. So I encourage you to nurture your minds, to take your coursework very, very seriously. But I also want you to nurture your souls. Indulge in simple pleasures by trying new things and by finding joy through being part of this whole community. The UW has boundless opportunities for you, inside and outside the classroom. In fact, there's so much to do here that there's no way that any one person can take advantage of everything there is to do on any given day. But because there's so much going on out there, I'm certain there's something for every single one of you. And if there's not, we have the kind of culture that will support you in creating new activities. Discover the world and your place in it at the University of Washington. Take risks, challenge yourself, be the first, find your passion in school and in life. Embrace your Husky community, make the world a better place. On behalf of the very best scholars and teachers in the world, the most dedicated staff, the most spirited and dedicated alumni community, spanning 150 years of service and commitment, on behalf of the entire Husky family, welcome to the University of Washington.
And now, I'd like to introduce to you the man who heads up all the units on campus that will serve as your support crew on this amazing journey you're about to begin. As the Vice President for Student Life, he oversees such diverse areas as food and housing, the counseling and career centers, student publications, our recreational sports programs, and the Center of Student Life and Student Governance, the Husky Building, also known as the Hub. It's a huge responsibility, and we are very privileged to have a uniquely qualified leader in this role. Please join me in welcoming our Vice President for Student Life, Dr. Denzel Sweet.
Thank you. Good morning. You know, it's really great to see so many of you out here today because it gives us just a hint of the outstanding year that lies ahead. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We absolutely love having you on campus, and we really do miss you when you're gone, but that's a secret between me and the 7,000 of you sitting out there, so don't tell anyone. This morning, I'm just going to take a moment and add my voice of welcome to the many voices of welcome that you've already heard. But I'm going to say something to you that perhaps you will not hear from others, and that is goodbye and thank you. The reason that I'm starting with goodbye and thank you is that these few years ahead of you, they will go by faster than you can imagine. And if you are like your predecessors, and I strongly suspect that you are, you will have left the University of Washington not only being a better person, but you will have made the UW a better place. And so for all that you are about to do for us, I say thank you. Your first year with us will be a strangely exciting time. It is a time when many feel great joy at arriving on campus for the first time, while simultaneously being apprehensive about the uncertainties that lie ahead. I'm certain that some of you are out there thinking, is it too late to ask mom and dad for homeschooling? It is, but worry not. You will have the time of your lives here. You will have experiences filled with trials and triumphs, delights and disappointments, but mostly experiences to satiate the soul with lasting memories and eternal friendships. We in the Division of Student Life are here to help guide and support you as you embark on this transformational journey of discovery. We're here to listen when times get tough, to help you with career choices, and to make sure that you have a friendly and inclusive community within the larger university environment. We also offer a wide array of programs designed to support your health because we know that's important to your overall academic success. And we're not forgetting about parents either. Through our parent and family programs, we strive to keep every Husky well informed about what's happening on campus. And we do hope to see you parents at our upcoming Parent and Family Weekend in April. Student Life, along with our partners in the Office of Minority Affairs and Diversity and Undergraduate Academic Affairs, serves as the hub for many of the activities that complement your academic pursuits. And make no mistake, your academic pursuits need to remain your #1 priority, but you must also get involved. And I want you to hear me when I tell you that your Husky experience, it will be incomplete if all you do is go to class, go home, and study all night. We know from years of experience and research that students who participate in the fabric of campus life, who get involved in clubs and organizations, their residence hall association, or student government, these students graduate at higher rates, they are more satisfied with the college experience, they have better grades, and they are less likely to drop out. And the opportunities for involvement abound. Many of you may want to get involved in our outstanding student newspaper called The Daily, where you will be able to apply what you have learned in the classroom while also developing communication skills that are fundamental for success in any endeavor. My message here for you this morning is whatever path you choose to follow, just remember that it is critically important to do well in the classroom, but also get involved with your university at every level, starting with the faculty, including the wonderful staff and your fellow students. And before I close, like my president before me, I want to engage with you via Twitter by sending you a question that I hope you will answer. But don't answer it just yet. I'd like you to pay attention to the rest of the program. I'm very much looking forward to hearing your responses. And now I would like to introduce to you someone who has challenged himself to succeed both academically and in significant leadership roles. He's a psychology major, beginning his senior year as the president of the Associated Students of the University of Washington. Please join me in welcoming your student body president, Mr. Tyler Wu.
So I was reading my speech last night and realized I had to edit it a lot. So could we get a zoom in on all the edits? Because I don't have a printer, so it's all on my little sticky notes. Great, hold on. All right, well, good morning, everyone. My name is Tyler Wu, and I will be serving as your ACW Student Body President for this upcoming year. It is my honor to officially welcome the class of 2019 to the University of Washington. Now, when I was asked to give this speech, I wasn't really sure what to talk about. Did I want to tell you all about the best bathrooms on campus, or talk about how we're all up here dressed like characters from Hogwarts, or did I want to tell you all about Fall Fling, which is ACW's annual concert tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the Hub and is free for every student? But when I finally sat down and started writing my speech, I came up with something that everybody in college experiences: being uncomfortable. At this moment, I want you all to put your hands together like this. It's gonna pan out, so smile. Now, when you look down at your hands, you'll see one of three things: your right thumb over your left, both thumbs side by side, or your left thumb over your right. Now, at this time, please switch your thumbs. How does that feel? Probably uncomfortable, right? Well, this is what your college experience is gonna feel like. Let me explain this a little bit more. From your first tour of the UW to your orientation session, to speeches you have heard before this, you have probably heard of all of the amazing things that this university has to offer you. You all will experience many things for the first time, but with that comes an overwhelming feeling of feeling uncomfortable. Whether you like that feeling or not, it just happens. And let me just say a couple examples. When you're walking into the wrong classroom on the first day of school and 500 people are looking at you, it'll feel uncomfortable. When you get caught in a flash storm of rain and have to sit down in an hour lecture with soggy underwear, it'll feel uncomfortable. When you have to use one-ply toilet paper, it'll feel uncomfortable. When you get a 2.8 in a class for the first time and you realize that that is the average, it'll feel uncomfortable. And loved ones, when your student stops calling you after the first week of school, it'll feel uncomfortable. Unless you're me and your mom tells you that you're calling her way too much. Then it'll feel really great. I was planning on y'all not getting that, and so I was gonna feel uncomfortable, so we're good. So the list goes on and on. So why am I telling you all of this? You all will realize soon that being uncomfortable is something that you're just gonna have to embrace. In most cases, it's a sign that you're learning and growing. College is a truly life-changing experience, and you have the opportunity to decide if you're going to embrace it or let it hold you back. I never thought I would be up here speaking in front of you all today. Being the ACW Student Body President was something I never intended on pursuing because it was something that scared me. But I remember sitting down with my college mentor and him giving me a piece of advice that I wanted to share with you all today. He said, "If something scares you, then you better do it. Because if it scares you, that means you aren't comfortable with it, which means it'll challenge and enhance your way of thinking." I took that advice, ran for president, and now I'm in front of you all today. So what are you gonna do in your college experience that scares you? Are you gonna be those 2 students who wanted more affordable textbooks and created the bookstore? Or are you going to be those courageous students who scale the administration building for more diversity resources on campus? Or are you going to be speaking in my place 3 years from now? Thousands of students have come before you, and thousands of students will come after you. Take a leap of faith, do something that scares you, and feel uncomfortable. Today marks the first day of your legacy on this campus, and I can't wait to see what you all do for the school. Welcome to what I believe is one of the best universities in the world, and I hope you enjoy your time here. Thank you, and go Dogs.
One of the things we want to do today is to introduce you, the freshman class and entering students, to our faculty and deans and the university community. At the same time, we also want to tell them a little bit about you. There's probably no one more familiar with the freshman class than our Dean of Undergraduate Academic Affairs, Dr. Ed Taylor. Dean Taylor is a graduate of Gonzaga University and received his PhD from the University of Washington. He has been a member of the faculty in the College of Education since 1994. Please join me in welcoming Dean Ed Taylor.
First, a word to the parents and loved ones also. Happiness is not in another place, but this place, not for another hour, but it is for this hour. So we welcome you to celebrate this hour and this place. Also wanted to have you take a moment and just think back a little bit. I was thinking about parents, loved ones, and families that, as you think back, it might have been 18, 17 years ago when you brought these babies home and made certain declarations. Maybe remember that first night when you said, I'm going to let her cry through the night. And then you went in that bedroom and you picked her up. 10th night in a row, and it was the right thing to do. How about the declaration that you made that my baby's not going to watch television? Certainly not going to eat processed sugar. You made the mistake of having your brother babysit. And old Uncle Buck ruined everything, didn't he? How about when you realized that you could not help her with her math homework? And she was in 5th grade. Oh, how about the $500 birthday party? Or was it $900? And they turned 1. And you realize she won't remember the birthday party at all. Oh, don't let me get into the first driving lesson. You drove and you had that look, that kind of half grimace, half smile, and you chose your words carefully at the end. You did great, honey, you did great. Oh, and there was a night you said, be back home by 11. And at 11:05, you started getting a little bit nervous. At 11:10, you start checking your phone. At 11:20, you got up and you got ready to make a move. Then the door opened at 11:30, and you took a deep breath, and you chose your words carefully that night, we hope. Loved ones, here is to the sleepless nights, the birthday parties, the $900 types, the sleepovers, the carpools, and the times you chose your words carefully. Here's to the moment, here's to the hour. So dear incoming students, to all of you, let me welcome you in. So you've done well. 3.78 grade point average overall. And not that we're about competition, but last year's group was about 3.76. Now, before you get all excited about that, I want to be clear with you. Your GPA did not get you admission into this university. In fact, how you treated your friends, how you treated your neighbors, how you treated your grandma may have made more of a difference than your grade point average, truth be told. How you treated yourself, how you treated your environment may well have gotten you into this university. Your habits of mind, your habits of heart got you admission. So there is uniqueness in this class. Let me tell you a few things about you. There's uniqueness, but there are also some similarities. There are 51 Hannahs in this class, 51 Sarahs, 50 Emilys, and 41 Jessicas, 49 Andrews, 43 Matthews, 43 Ryans. It's all about the Benjamins. There are 37 Benjamins in this class. Adelaide and Megan, you are here. Adonis, Diana, and Hekima, you were in this class. Stefan and Kiara, you were in this class. And there's another Andrew and Austin. You two are sitting together. Welcome. There are 4,317 students from the state of Washington. 4,317 from Washington. From Washington high schools, 97 from Skyline, 89 from Inglemoor, 78 from Newport High School, 62 from Interlake High School, over 50 Garfield Bulldogs, and over 50 Franklin Quakers. I know there's some Eastlake parents up here, so there's some Eastlake kids in this class. 118 students from Spokane High Schools, accompanied by your colleagues from Chelan and Twist. We're so glad that you're here. One student from Chief Leschi High School in Puyallup, 26 from Chief South International High School, 20 Juanita High School students are coming in, and 28 students, including Kimberly right here, are homeschooled. But we hold a special place in our hearts for those 117 students who waddled across the Oregon border into the state of Washington. And you were here. Four of you from Jesuit High School had your prayers answered. You're here. But no more special place than for those 15 students who hitched up the wagon, turned west in search of gold and purple, left Pullman High School, and you are now Huskies. "48 from Hawaii, 38 from Texas, you're from Kentucky, you're from Utah, you're from Wyoming, you're from Florida." Those Texas people got excited, didn't you? 2 students from South Africa, Nosisikelele, Africa, Mulwaney, my friends. You are from cities from around the world, Beijing, 134 from Shanghai, 53 from Chengdu, from Seoul, Korea, Nanjing, Bangkok, New Delhi, and parents here from Indonesia I just met. You're from so many countries. You're from Taiwan, Singapore, 19 students from Canada, some in the back row there, 14 from Japan. You are all now part of what we're going to call the Husky Experience. I asked some of you to write a note on Facebook, just to say something back to your parents about what it is that you've learned. And you gave me permission to read a couple of them. Let me read from a couple. "Because of my parents, I will bring a dedication to my studies that is not based on increasing my sense of personal value, but increasing my passion for those without a voice. And because of my parents, I will encourage others at this university that their value is not based on their grade point averages, but their hearts." That's a student from Palmer, Alaska. Another student said, "My parents taught me not to put cotton sweaters in the dryer unless I really don't like that sweater." I just learned that last week. My mother. "My friends and family taught me to drive, to crash, to fall, to stand back up. They taught me to love, and only to love." Student from Billings, Montana. So if I can ask all of you to stay seated, if I can ask all of the parents and loved ones and everyone on the stage to please stand, and look at them, and I want you to look at the families around you. And I want you all to join me in showing as much love, love, love as we can show this group of incoming freshmen and transfer students. Please join me in welcoming this class in. A little louder, a little louder, a little louder. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Taylor. Well, we've learned a good deal about you, our incoming class, and now we'd like to introduce you to some of the faculty members who will be your teachers and mentors for the next 4 years. They are experts in nearly every imaginable field, and every day they are engaged in research and scholarship that is affecting our world in profound ways. The person who knows our faculty best is our interim provost, Jerry Baldesty. The provost is the university's chief academic officer and the person who works most closely with the deans and faculty to shape your academic experience. Dr. Baldesty is a professor of communication and distinguished teaching award winner and has been on the faculty of the University of Washington for over 37 years. Please join me in welcoming our provost, Jerry Baldesty.
On behalf of the faculty, I want to join the rest of the voices on the stage here today to welcome you to the University of Washington. I remember a long time ago when I started University of Washington, and this is a remarkably wonderful place. I want to introduce you to some of our faculty, some of who are sitting behind me and who greeted you when you entered the arena this morning. The faculty are an incredibly impressive array of scholars, researchers, and teachers. The University of Washington is home to 6 Nobel Prize winners, 15 MacArthur Fellows, more than 240 members of the Institutes of Medicines of the National Academies, and 167 fellows in the American Association for the Advancement of Science. Of course, I can't possibly cover the activities of all of them, but I'd like to give you a brief glimpse of just some of the opportunities that our faculty make available to our undergraduates. By doing so, I hope to convey to you an important point about the Husky experience for our undergraduates here at the University of Washington. The research and scholarship that takes place here frequently involves undergraduates in very significant roles. You have a great opportunity to work with world-class researchers and to acquire the skills and the knowledge that will provide the foundation for success in your career and life. Let me give you just 2 brief examples. The field of computer science has had a major impact on the humanities. And out of that interaction, a new field has been created called digital humanities. Faculty in the Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations recently brought together an interdisciplinary team of undergraduate and graduate students, faculty and visiting scholars. And they worked collaboratively on historical research in ways that wouldn't have been possible just 20 years ago. The students come from a variety of departments: biology, history, math, computer science. They're developing skills in historical research and in computer coding and programming as they transcribe, translate, and edit century-old texts from Ottoman Iraq and Egypt and move them into the digital domain. They're gaining experience working in the professional world of an independent, web-based publishing house they call the New Book Digital Text in the Humanities. New Book was co-founded by 3 faculty members who we're honored to have with us today. They are Dr. Walter Andrews, Dr. Mary Childs, and Dr. Sarah Ketchley. Would you please stand? New Book Digital Text is just one example of a theme that has become commonplace in undergraduate education here. Undergraduates are engaged in professional level work that's having a real impact today. Another example of this comes from the University of Washington's Clean Energy Institute. The Institute is engaged in cutting-edge research into solar energy, electrical energy storage materials, devices, and systems. Recently, a team of 3 undergraduates in the mechanical engineering department won the $15,000 grand prize at the Institute's Environmental Innovation Challenge. They developed a portable thermoelectric generator that turns cooking fires into personal power stations. Their device, called the Firebee, could be invaluable for people living in rural communities, in developing nations, allowing them to charge LED lights and mobile phones. Another team sponsored by the Institute is developing a conductive 3D printing material that allows a 3D printer to print an object with electronic components. And other graduates are working with Institute faculty on the development of solar cells, or engaged in research to extend the life of batteries. We're very pleased to have Dr. David Ginger, the Associate Director of the Institute, and the Alvin Verla Quirum Endowed Professor of Chemistry with us here today. Dr. Ginger, would you please stand? This kind of collaboration between our faculty and our undergraduates in technology is literally changing the world in which we live. This is an integral part of undergraduate education and may well be part of your undergraduate education very soon. There's not time to cover all the other programs I'd love to tell you about, but I'd like to mention the many opportunities available for study abroad. Each year, scores of UW students spend a quarter or more studying at the university's Rome Center, housed in the magnificent 17th century palazzo at the Campo dei Fiori in Rome. Many undergraduates also study at the university's Leon Center in northern Spain, housed in the tower of a 16th century palace. You'll be able to take part in this kind of global learning at many other sites around the world as well. I've given you a glimpse of just a few of these opportunities for you as undergraduates, and there are many, many more that I hope you will take time to discover. They are provided to you by professors who are among the leading scholars and researchers in the world. These educators make it possible for us to offer you an amazing and unique educational experience. Through this, the Husky experience, you will acquire the knowledge and the skills you need to be the leaders in your own career and in our communities. I know you all work hard, and I want you to know that there are many exciting prospects for the future, a future that may be much closer than you might think. Education today is a dynamic, collaborative enterprise. The world of tomorrow is being created right here, right now at the University of Washington, and you will be an important part of it. So welcome. I have the additional privilege and honor of introducing a professor who has long been a student favorite at the University of Washington. David Domke is professor and chair of the Department of Communication. He's the author of 2 books and is nationally known for his writings, which have appeared in a wide variety of communication and political science journals. Prior to working in academia, Professor Domke was a journalist for several newspapers in the 1980s and the 1990s, including the Orange County Register and the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. He earned his doctoral degree in mass communication from the University of Minnesota in 1996 and joined the faculty of the University of Washington in 1998. In his research and teaching, Professor Domke focuses on issues of racial and religious identity in American politics. And in the past 2 years, he's begun to lead week-long civil rights pilgrimages of students and community adults to the U.S. South. In 2002, he received the University of Washington's Distinguished Teaching Award, the university's highest honor for teaching. In 2006, he was named the Washington State Professor of the Year by the Council for the Advancement and Support of Education and the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching. And in 2008, he was selected as the favorite professor of the UW graduating class. Please join me in welcoming Professor David Domke.
Thank you, Jerry, very much. This is an incredible honor to speak to all of you. I'm pretty sure this is my exit from the UW, so I'm going to enjoy this one, all right? This is a credible moment to come and speak with you at what I consider Husky Nation Convocation. It's freshman convocation, but Husky Nation is so much larger than freshmen. It is about our parents and our alumni. It is about our transfer students. I, too, was a community college 2-year student who went to a larger university afterwards, and I know the impact that start had upon me. It is about staff and faculty. It is about everybody who might be outside who wonders what's going on inside this place. This convocation started for me actually on Friday night. We came and we did a little run-through, because Husky Nation Convocation is bigger than just this moment. I brought my 8-year-old son. He wanted to bounce his basketball on the floor here. I assured him that there'd be no baskets up, but he said, I want to go. And so he brought his basketball. And there's a little bit of floor, and so he was bouncing it. A colleague said, there's a gymnasium up there. Maybe you want to go up there and shoot some baskets. And my son was like, yeah, Dad. And I was like, it's time for bed, isn't it? Because I knew my wife would say, why are you so late, okay? We went up there and started shooting baskets. There was a couple guys shooting baskets. One of them was pretty tall, looked pretty good. And so my son said, I wonder if he can dunk, because he knows I can't. And so I said, maybe, and I went over to ask this guy, and I said, could you dunk for my son? Just so we're all clear, dunk is when you jump up, put the basketball in there. And he said, sure, just a minute, I got to shoot a few more free throws. All right, fair enough. After he did that, he came over and we talked a little bit, and he's an incoming freshman. His name's Matthias from Eastside Catholic. We talked a little bit. And Matthias said, okay, I'll dunk for you. And he said, but if I'm going to do it, I need this. I need your son to stand here. I'm going to dunk over him. And I, as a dad, and my son were like, yeah! But I knew that if anything went wrong here, I was going to have to answer for this. So I decided to videotape it in case anything went wrong. So I videoed it, and the first one, Matthias goes over, sails over my son, and he ducks. Fair enough. Matthias was way over him. And I said to him, it's okay, Sam. You can stand there. You can do this. And he looked at me nervously. And the second time Matthias goes over him, and my son didn't duck. We went home, and immediately he says to my wife, Mom, look at this. Look at this dunk. And she looks at me, right? And all this. And so this is all part of my propaganda to get him to go to college here, all right? My goal to get him to become part of Husky Nation. It's an honor to be here today with you. And I want to talk with you a little bit about two things. But to do that, I'm not really comfortable being this far away from my students. It's not my identity. I want to be out among you, so I'm going to come down there, okay? And I want to talk to you about two things. One, I want to talk about you individually and what this moment represents for you. I'm going to call that the I moment. Not the I that we see through, but the I, the letter I. And then second, I want to talk about what we do to advance together, because we can be incredible individuals, but we do not advance as a society or as an institution without a we. And that is the Husky experience, simultaneously being the I and the we. Not getting rid of the I to become the we, but to be the I and the we together. So first, the I. In 1978, a psychologist by the name of M. Scott Peck wrote a book. This book had been rejected by a couple publishers, said it wasn't a very good one, but he kept trying. Published it at Random House. It eventually became a monumental bestseller. It was called The Road Less Traveled. Maybe some of the students here know about this because maybe a sibling or an adult or a mentor has read it. I had older siblings and they had read it and they put it on the bookshelf at our house. And so one day I pulled it off. The Road Less Traveled. It sounded like a poem. Thought I'd read it. The Road Less Traveled has one of the most famous opening sentences in all of American publishing history. It's 3 words. Life is difficult. It's not cheery, but it's truthful. It is one of the most profound truths that you can ever know, Peck says, because once we accept the premise that life is not about making it easy and that indeed life is difficult, we lean in and we encounter those challenges. We don't run away. We don't go out that door. I'd like to go out that door before I got up and stood. You don't think I'm nervous? All of you that were down here saw me working through this talk beforehand. But we don't get up and leave that stage. We come down together. Life is difficult. I know this. You know this. My mom died when I was 11. My father was emotionally absent. My ticket to college was an athletic scholarship. My brother had been an All-American. I was following in his footsteps until I suffered a serious injury my junior year of high school. When I was in college, I paid my way through school. I worked 2 jobs as a reporter and in retail. In retail, I became a store manager, and then my store got robbed. I bought a beat-up old car, saving money, changed the oil to keep the costs low, forgot to put the screw back in right, and the oil drained out and the engine seized. Life is difficult. What do we do when it's difficult? And everybody, all of you students, I love you. I really do. I don't use that verb lightly. And you're sitting and you're thinking, it's not going to be difficult for me, but I assure you it will. It absolutely will. You'll get your heart broken. You'll break other hearts. You're not going to get the grades you want or the classes you want. What are you going to do? You got to stand up. You got to rise up again. The good news is that you're not by yourself. There's a we here, and the we is always bigger than the I. We pick each other up. We go together, all right? We do this. We advance. Up on that stage are some of the most incredible leaders that I've ever had the chance to work with. Our president, our provost, I'll run through the wall for them. But they can't do anything without us. Nothing. They need us. We need them. There's a we, okay? The I and the we must be together. Without either, it will not work. And so, one of the things we work on here at the UW is to provide those we experiences in labs, in task forces, in group projects, in study abroads. And I'm fortunate to be part of a group that leads a civil rights pilgrimage to the U.S. South twice a year. This is in collaboration with Bellevue College, where a former student of mine is a chair of a political science program. He brings his students, I bring our students, and we also have about 20 or 30 community adults who come as well. All right? It's an incredible, powerful experience that is without a doubt the most difficult thing that I've ever been part of. Because in theory, an interracial, intergenerational, multi-gender, multi-sexual, economically varied group would be great to bring together. But if you're going to talk to each other and really share your pain and your experiences, then you got to be honest with each other. And that's hard. And that's why we don't go for an hour, we go for 9 days. 9 days to some of the hardest places in this country. Place where people died, were killed, brothers, sisters, siblings, where they're doing hard work today. Montgomery, Birmingham, Selma, Oxford, Mississippi, Philadelphia, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas. It's an unbelievable experience. We leave again for our next trip in 8 days. Okay? And in that experience, we experience the we. I and we go together. One of the groups that we study and learn about as part of this is a group that was part of the 1960 Civil Rights Movement, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. One of the incredible truths of the Civil Rights Movement is that students, young people, were the we that drove this experience. Okay? Young people faced the fire hoses and police dogs in Birmingham. Young people led the march in Selma. Young people died in Mississippi so that we shall overcome. I want to show you a picture of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee taken from 1963. This is just a subset of the group. It's a famous photo of a subset of the group in 1963. Okay, it'll come up in a second. As you look at them, think about the we that each of the I's were part of there, the way they worked together, all right? This is a subset of them, 1963. The man in front, how many of you, raise your hand, know who the man in front is? It's Julian Bond. Julian Bond is one of the most famous civil rights activists in this country ever, and he died recently. His memorial service is going to occur in Washington, D.C. shortly, okay? He couldn't stand there and do this work by himself. It was the we. It was the we. Those folks look at me and my students, and they say to us, will you join us? We're calling to you from across the ages, across the times. And so to help our students understand the I and the we, I asked them to write down a few thoughts about what the I ams and the we's are. So I want to read a few words of my students, because these are your colleagues. These are students at UW and Bellevue College. I'm about done here, but I want to read their words. And as I read their words, I ask you to think about what would be your words. How would you add to this chorus of voices that connects back to those folks in SNCC in 1963? These are some of the words. I am human. We will seek first to understand, second to be understood. I am someone that is willing to change. We will overcome our fears and limitations. I am willing to give it all I got. We will be the voice to the voiceless. I am insecure and scared, but I am lucky to be loved. We will be better if we love better. I am reimagined. We will change the conversation. I am unapologetically black. We will be the change. I am human. We will achieve justice for all people throughout the planet. I am a person that will change myself and others around me to be the best we can be. We will be optimistic. I am a strong woman who's creating my own path. We will make a difference in our communities. I am extremely excited. We will get uncomfortable and charge on. I am a fighter. We will fight. I am just one drop in an ocean of history. We will cause ripples that reach new shores. I am challenged. We will step outside the comfort zones of society and grow together. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. We will rise. I am a powerful force of energy in this world. We will make history that we will be proud of. I am revolution. We will not be afraid. These are the words of my students. These are the words of your fellow students. I don't have them on Facebook. I don't have them on my phone. I have them on 3x5 cards. And I carry them around with me. Because every time I start to think that there's the I the professor, I the father, I this, I that, I remember that it's we. It's we, the University of Washington. It's we, the faculty and the staff and the alumni and the students and the orchestra. It is we, the I and the we. In that picture that I showed you of SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, Julian Bond's up front. Right next to him, over his shoulder, is a guy by the name of Bob Zellner. Bob Zellner was the first white field secretary. He was from Alabama for Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. 9 days from now, he'll be at Julian Bond's memorial service. And then because they were best men in each other's weddings. And then he will get on a plane and he will fly to Memphis to join our civil rights group. And he will spend 4 days with us. going through places where his friends died so that all of us would have these opportunities. We are the most diverse entering class this university's ever had, and it's only because people put their lives on the line individually and collectively for us to do this. We go together, I and we. I will walk with you. We will walk with you. We will walk together. Welcome, 2015 entering class.
Casey Castro, a soloist with the University of Washington Men's Glee Club, will now lead us in singing the school song, Rise Up with Pride for Washington. Casey is a senior majoring in music education. He will first sing the song a cappella, and then we will all sing the song with the University Wind Ensemble. The lyrics to the song are printed on the last page of your program. Please rise.
Good morning, everyone. So this song was composed a little recently in 2008. The words were written by Catherine Henderson and the music composed by Bill Conti. And it goes a little something like this. Rise up with pride for Washington, for purple and for gold. From far and wide we meet as one, as huskies proud and bold. Washington, we hail to thee, honor, truth, integrity, forever shine from lake to shore, your light upon us evermore. Easy, right? Rise up with pride for Washington, for purple and for gold. From far and wide we meet as one, as huskies proud and bold. Washington, we hail to thee, honor, truth, integrity, forever shine from lake to shore, your light upon us evermore. Rise up with pride for Washington, together hand in hand, we will proclaim our loyalty in song throughout the land. Washington, we hail to thee, honor, truth, integrity, forever shine from lake to shore, your light upon us evermore.
Please be seated. What a wonderful way to begin the academic year. On behalf of the University of Washington, I'd like to thank our honored guests and all of you who have made this day so special. The audience is requested to remain seated until the completion of the recession by the platform party. The 2015 Freshman Convocation of the University of Washington is now closed.